Set against the backdrop of a high school senior cruise aboard the Oceanic Odyssey, the story follows Alice Sampson, a quiet, artistic teen labeled the art freak by her peers, and her only friend Jay Monroe, a steady, protective photographer. The trip is meant to be a celebratory send-off for the graduating class, but it is overshadowed by the cruelty of the school's ruling pair. Sharp, privileged Valentina, daughter of the state governor, and her boyfriend Leonardo, the golden boy quarterback who stands idly by while Valentina torments Alice. From the moment they board the ship, Valentina targets Alice with petty humiliations, mocking her at the gangway for ruining the view, and later spilling an entire strawberry kiwi slushie all over Alice's white shirt and beloved sketchbook in front of the crowded pool deck. When Alice finally summons the courage to call out Valentina's pathetic cruelty, Leo dismisses her as dramatic, choosing to smooth over the scene rather than defend what is right. Even the chaperone, Mr. Harrison, looks away, afraid to cross Valentina's powerful family. Only Jay stands between Alice and the world, a quiet promise of safety that is about to be shattered forever. On the second night of the voyage, a catastrophic storm hits without mercy. What starts as a rocky evening in the ship's main ballroom quickly spirals into horror when the vessel lurches violently, plunging the room into total darkness and chaos. The ship's supposedly advanced stabilization system is no match for the monstrous waves that slam into the hull. In the panicked stampede for the lifeboats, Alice and Jay are torn apart by a wall of water that crashes over the open deck. As the Oceanic Odyssey splits in two with a deafening metallic scream, Jay finds a single orange life vest and forces it onto Alice, his final command a desperate, firm live, before the fractured deck beneath him gives way and he falls into the raging black Atlantic. Alice is struck unconscious moments later when her head slams into a steel staircase, waking alone hours later on a remote tropical beach, the life vest still strapped to her chest and the charred, twisted wreckage of the ship scattered all around her. Grief-stricken but driven by Jay's last words, Alice sets about surviving on her own. She salvages supplies from the debris field, bottles of water, a sealed first aid kit, a waterproof backpack, and finds a small, dry cave sheltered by thick vines, with a clear freshwater stream trickling nearby. As she searches further along the shore for more resources, she discovers Leo, unconscious and badly injured with a deep head gash and a severely swollen sprained ankle, wedged among crumpled deck chairs. Despite their bitter history and the anger she still feels toward his indifference on the ship, Alice cannot bring herself to leave him to the incoming tide. She half carries, half drags him to the cave and tends to his wounds, a cold, practical focus replacing the timid girl he knew from high school. At first, their partnership is tense and purely transactional. Leo, used to being in control and admired, struggles with his helplessness, while Alice carries the full weight of scavenging and physical labor. They divide tasks out of necessity. He becomes the planner and lookout, prying open a salvaged crew trunk to reveal flares, heavy rope, a hatchet, and a lifeboat manual, while Alice forages for food and building materials. Slowly, the old high school identities begin to fade. He teaches her to build a sturdy shelter and tie secure knots. She discovers a grove of sweet, edible yellow fruit and learns to fish, her artist's wrist giving her a delicate, precise aim he never expected. They find 3 surviving chickens from the ship's cargo hold, build a rough but reliable home from driftwood and tarp, and share small, fragile moments of joy, cooking their first caught fish over a fire, laughing at the stubborn hen Alice names Kai, and working side by side on a plan to repair a salvaged emergency beacon with a scavenged solar panel. Their fragile peace deepens one rainy night, when Alice salvages a working smartphone with a single charge left from a piece of wreckage. They play a soft, melancholy song, and for the first time, Leo asks her to dance. In the warm glow of the firelight, far removed from the social hierarchies of their old life, they sway together awkwardly, two people clinging to the last thread of the world they knew. For a brief, quiet moment, it feels like they might build something real on the island, a partnership beyond mere survival. The illusion shatters 3 days later. Leo, who has been secretly searching the northern coastline for Valentina, finds her body trapped in a rocky tidal pool preserved by the cold, dark water. The discovery breaks him completely. Overwhelmed by crippling guilt for surviving, for laughing with Alice, for failing to protect Valentina, he returns to the shelter hollow and boiling with self-hatred. He turns all of his pain and rage on Alice, lashing out with cruel words that cut deeper than any insult from the ship. He accuses her of trying to take Valentina's place, of faking her grief, of being nothing more than a replacement of convenience. When Alice tries to reach out and comfort him, he rejects her violently, drawing a hard line between them, and ordering her to stay away. The rift between them quickly grows into an uncrossable chasm. They divide chores and barely speak, moving around the shelter they built together like strangers. When wild boars break through their garden fence and destroy half their crops, Leo refuses to help rebuild, dismissing it as her problem. Alice, already reeling from his rejection, is left to face the threat alone. The final break comes during a heated argument over firewood rationing. Grief and anger boil over, and Leo sneers that she lost nothing, that her life on the island is better than it ever was at school. In that moment, Alice finally unleashes the pain she has buried since the wreck. She screams about Jay, about how he gave his life for her, about how she watched him drown, about how she has carried his death with her every single day. The fight turns physical when Leo shoves her hard to the ground. In a final, brutal act, he throws her backpack at her feet and kicks her out of the shelter they built together, telling her to go back to her cave and die somewhere else. Alone once more, Alice returns to the damp, small cave where she first took shelter. Her pride keeps her from going back, but survival proves nearly impossible without Leo's skills and their shared supplies. She fails at fishing, gets lost searching for fruit, and falls violently ill after eating unsafe red berries. She cannot start a fire, her hands rubbed raw and bleeding from hours of failed attempts. When a massive monsoon storm hits the island, the cave offers almost no protection. She huddles in the very back, soaked and freezing, clutching Kai the chicken for warmth. By morning, Alice is dying, feverish and completely exhausted. Her body finally gives out. As her consciousness fades and the shivering stops, she sees Jay sitting across from her, calm and smiling, just as he was before the storm. He tells her she fought hard, she can rest now. He holds out his hand, promising peace, and the life they always planned to live in New York. Tired and ready to stop hurting, Alice lifts her hand to reach for him. Her arm falls back to the cold stone floor, a piece of charcoal slipping from her fingers. She goes still, a faint, peaceful smile on her lips, finally reunited with the friend who gave everything to save her.